Now then, people, it's Joe, All Leeds TV, and it is your Birmingham preview. It is the Gary Monk derby. No, you know, some people will say probably get over that by now, but in all honesty, I really hate the man, so I struggle too. But yeah, big one, massive game, really big game. You know, we've got the alternate fixtures now. Me and Conor touched on it before during the international break when we had a look at the running. For me, this is very, very pivotal. I was speaking to someone the other day on social media, and you know, these next three are huge. We've got Birmingham away, Preston away, then Sheffield Wednesday at home. You know, if we can take maximum points, which is a big if, because listen, it's three very difficult games, two of them away from home. But you know, it's crunch time, right? We've got 7 games left, and we need to be winning every one. Is it unrealistic to think we can? Who knows? You know, everyone's entitled to their opinion. But listen. Birmingham's a massive game. You know, you've got Gary Monk. We owe them one. Let's be honest, we owe them one. You know, we were undefeated in 9 games in the league. We'd lost against Preston, I believe, in the cup. But in the league, we'd been undefeated for 9 games. I think we'd only drawn. I think it might have been Swansea, Millwall. You know, there was a few games we'd drawn, but ultimately we had gone 9 games without a loss. Then Birmingham came to town and they beat us at home. And it was 2 goals, 2-1 in fact, 2 goals from Che Adams, who's been in lightning form this season, and a goal late on from Alioski. So yeah, we definitely owe them one. And listen, I checked the highlights out from that game today. I had a look back. Obviously, BPF made two howlers. Could you say howlers? The first, definitely. I remember being at the time with my friend Sean, looking at each other like dumbfounded, as if to say, how's that even gone in? The first one shouldn't go in. The second one as well, positioning wise, should it really have trickled into that bottom corner from where Che Adams took the strike? Probably not. But it is what it is. We lost that game, and BPF didn't shroud himself in glory in that game. We now have a better keeper. This isn't no slight on BPF, but Kiko makes them saves for me. If we look back at when we played Rotherham, for example, how does he save that? You know what I mean? He's a top-class keeper. And for me, them efforts at goal don't go in. And Birmingham haven't been great of late. Now, that's not always a good omen for Leeds United. Look back at the recent game against QPR. They were on some bad-ass run. We played them, we get beat. They then go on a bad-ass run, and Steve McLaren gets the sack. Look at Stoke. They're having a poor run under Nathan Jones. We come to town. They beat us. They then go on another poor run. Is that another one of these games? Because listen, we do not do well when teams are playing poor. Let's be honest. And I'll touch a little bit more about Birmingham's current form a little bit later on. So, Birmingham danger men. Obviously, they have Mahoney on the wing. They've got Diego Jota as well. Two key players. I don't know if Yotta's been playing of late, but I know watching Conor and Brummy Joe's preview, if you haven't watched that already, please go check that out. It is really good. They think a lot of Mahoney. I think he mentioned the right back as well that had just come back from injury that's possibly dangerous. But for me, the 2 danger men are Che Adams, who scored 21 goals this season. You know, I believe Burnley were linked with him during January, so anyone who's linked to a move to the Prem tells you all you need to know. And 21 goals is a hell of a lot of goals in this division. Up there with the top, you know, Billy Sharp, Pookie, Tammy Abrahams, Gale, the likes of them kind of strikers. And also Jukovic. Jukovic has been on fire, much like Pablo. He has 11 goals to his name and 10 assists this season. So they're the danger men for me. One thing to say is Che Adams is on a bit of a barren run based on current, you know, this season. He hasn't scored in 6 games now. 6 games. The last time he scored was a 2-2 draw against Blackburn. So he's been quiet of late, and hopefully our rock solid defence, because I do believe it is rock solid, when Cooper and Janssen are on it, hopefully they will, you know, nullify the threat that Che Adams has. And as I've explained to you, you know, Brum are not in the greatest run of form. They haven't won since February. They've lost 5 games on the bounce. They've conceded 9 goals, 3 of them coming against West Brom, and only scored 2. So it's not really great form. They've obviously had the 9 points deduction as well. So is it a good time to be playing Birmingham? On recent history for me, probably not, because as I've said to you, Leeds don't do well against teams that are struggling. It's been a fact of ours for many seasons. So is it a good sign for us that they're in such poor form? One thing I will say, and I got in touch with LUFC data. If you haven't already, please follow him on Twitter. His stats are unreal, and obviously we've got LUFC stats as well that I'd like to have a look at just prior to the game. But as we all know, we have only failed to score in one game this season away from home, and that was against QPR, and we all know how that performance went. So that's what, the good thing we've got on our side. We've scored in every away game this season, bar one. Also, we'll be hoping to keep our third consecutive clean sheet, away clean sheet that is, and that if we manage to get a clean sheet, which based on Brum's current form, as I said, they've conceded 9 and only scored 2 in the last 5. So it is possible that we could keep a clean sheet, and if we do that, that'll be the third consecutive away clean sheet since March 2012. March 2012 since we've kept 3 clean sheets away from home on the bounce. And we have Kiko back, and that's a big plus. I think looking at the Millwall game, one of the reasons we did look shaky at times was because BPF was in goal, in my opinion, and I've heard it said as well. I think the centre-backs were a little bit shaky, knowing, when Kiko's there, they just know he's going to be arriving and to collect the ball or give the right ball out. You know what I mean? He knows when to come, when to not. And I think with BPF it was a little bit shaky. So the fact we have Kiko is a plus in that, in that area of the pitch. Also, Birmingham have, and again this is due to LUFC data, so thank you, mate. Birmingham have the second lowest average possession in the league, with just 43.6%, and they also have the second lowest passing accuracy with just 61.9%. So that tells me we're going to dominate the game. We are up there, if not the best, in terms of possession. The only thing we need to do, like I said, we're going to dominate the ball. We just need to take our chances, and we win this game. It's a cold hard fact. If we take our chances, we win this game. However, on the flip side, if we don't take our chances and Birmingham sitting and nick one, for me, they'll shut up shop and see it out, and we know that, Gary Monk under us, for example, it was always 1-0 Wood, wasn't it? Very tight first half, get one second half, shut up shop. I had a running joke that season. I remember saying we always used to back, me and my friend, 1-0 Wood, because there was a lot of it during that season. I thank Gary Monk for that, because we had a fantastic time that season. You look at Brighton at home, you look at Newcastle away, some great memories. It's just the way in which he left the club, which I still dislike the snake, but it is what it is. Pablo's going to be key again. He's massive to us. I mean, his goals this season have been worth 23 points. 23 points. There's only Pookie has more with 24 points. And hopefully Pablo will surpass him this weekend and get on the score sheet and run the show. It's quite poignant that Pablo was brought in by Monk, I believe, when we were umming and ahhing over a new deal back in the summer. I think Birmingham were interested as well, and I fancy Pablo to have another awesome game, and it just outlines the fact even more. The fact that he hasn't been put in the team of the season, the fact that there's only Pookie whose goals have been worth more in terms of points this season. As I say, 23 points Pablo's goals have been worth this season. So for me, he's going to be key again. He's going to be running the show. There's the return of Kemar Roof, quite fitting. The April square ball is actually Kemar Roof, and I'm buzzing to see him back. As you'll have seen on our social media, we got to meet the guy on Saturday, and it's just good that he's back. Will he come straight in? It's up for debate. Probably not. I think Bielsa sticks faith with the current crop, but if Bamford has any sort of performance like he did on Saturday, we all know Bielsa's not going to be afraid to change it, and change it early if it's not going well. He's done it with Phillips, he's done it with other individuals, he could do it again. And Izzy could be involved. That was quite poignant, I think, from the press conference, the fact that was brought up. What we didn't know is that he had an injury last time out, hence why he wasn't on the bench against Millwall. But could Izzy feature? Look, we're so much stronger now. We are so much stronger now. I had a look at the previous lineup. Roberts was starting at striker. If you remember, I think he got the goals at Millwall. And he started at striker. We also had Alioski on either side of wings, which, you know, as I've said to you before, Alioski's so much better in a further back position, you know, left wing back, as it were. We had no Pablo in that game either. The midfield was Click and Saiz, so arguably we were stronger there as well. You know, Adam Forshaw wasn't around. We now have a bench. You're looking at Roof, you're looking at Izzy Brown, Forshaw, Jack Clark. We have a much stronger starting 11, in my opinion. But for me, lineup-wise, it's going to stay the same. I touched on it in the post-match pint with the All Leeds TV guys. I thought maybe Roberts comes out and Roof comes straight back in. On reflection, probably not. If anyone's going to come out, it's going to be Paddy Bamford. But I think lineup-wise, we remain the same. And if Paddy's not on it, Roof's going to make an appearance. And make an appearance early, in my opinion. But yeah, a bit stats for you to leave you with as well. If we avoid defeat on Saturday, it'll be the first time since 98-99 that no team has done the double against us. What a stat that is. That's from LUFC stats. If we avoid defeat, it'll be the first time since 98-99 that not one team has done the double over us. That's massive, right? And that's the sort of form that gets you promoted, you know. And we're in key position, being in second at the moment. Also, LUFC stats did come out and say that there hasn't been anyone in this position since 07-08 that's been second after 39 games that didn't get automatic. You know what I mean? Is that anonymous sign? But listen, I've said to you before, the stars are aligned, baby. You know what I mean? And it's not been since 2007-2008 that whoever's been second after 39 games hasn't gone on to get automatic promotion. So that's a good sign. History is on our side. Just some further other bits as well. Obviously, Ayling now has been involved in 5 goals in the last 4 games. That's huge. What a turnaround of performance. It just shows Bielsa knows, he sticks with them, and that's why Paddy could be key. You know, a lot of us may be saying, you know, he's not been great, let's bring him out of the side, let's start Roof. He could go and have an awesome performance on Saturday. You know, I was one of them that was saying, I think Ayling came back too early, let's rest him, let's bring Shackleton in. How wrong was I? I mean, he's been involved in 5 goals in the last 4 games, 1 goal and 4 assists. That's huge for a right back, absolutely huge. And one thing I will say, if we do go behind, as we all know, we don't need to be downhearted. We've scored in every away game except for QPR, and we've picked up 24 points this season from losing position. That's more than anyone else in the league. So let's not get too downhearted. If we do go behind, and we could, and we could go behind. My opinion, as I say, they're not on the best run of form. You know, they've had the 9 points deduction. For me, we've been playing well. I know Millwall wasn't great, but it's that sort of performance that promotion teams do, champions do. You know, it was a dogged affair, but we still got the result. Do you know what I mean? I mean, look at last season when we brought it back 3-3 and then lost it again. You know, that wasn't happening this time. That wasn't happening. As soon as we equalised, I think we all knew we were going to go on to win that game. And against Sheffield United, we performed really, really well. I think you'll struggle to find a performance as good as that where you don't win the game, in my opinion. You know, we just couldn't hit the onion bag as it is. But yeah, I'm going to leave you with these guys. As I say, we've won now 10 away matches, okay, in the 2nd division. And that's the first time we've won 10 away games since 63-64. And that season we won the title under Revy. So, you know what I mean? The stars are aligned. So, they went on to win 12 away games. We could possibly do that, even maybe surpass it. I think we've got four away games left. But when the Revy side were in the 2nd division in 63-64, they'd won 12. And the last time we won 10 away from home or more, you know, we won the title under Revy. And if we win on Saturday, we'll have the highest points return in the 2nd division since we last won the league in 1990 under Sergeant Wilco. You know, so all these things keep happening. Is it a sign? Who knows? But it's our time, and I still believe that, guys. So hopefully we will win, and I'm gonna stick my neck out and say that we win 2-0. I know I've been saying for a while now that I thought we might get beat, but listen, recent run of form from Birmingham. Che Adams on a bit of a downward turn. I know Jukovic's on fire. He scored against West Brom, I believe. But I think we have enough. And we've got Pablo right at the... He's on fire at the moment. He's on fire. He just wants that ball. Give me that ball. I'll dictate the play. I'll lay them on the door for you. And, you know, even having Izzy on the bench, Forshaw on the bench, Kamar Roof, who's been unreal this season on the bench, you know, I think we can win. And if we score early, I fancy us to win. As I say, if we go in front, we win. But like I say, even if we do go behind, we've picked up 24 points now from losing positions. That's more than anyone else. And we've scored in every away game, apart from one against QPR. So you've got to be confident. And I am confident. And I'm going to stick my neck out and say that we win 2-0. And as I touched on to you earlier, you know, it'll be the first time since 98-99 that no team has done the double against us. That's crazy, right? It just shows the manner in which we've gone about this season. It's unreal to think all the things that have been thrown at us and all the injuries that we've had. It just shows, man, and what a massive week to come. You know, Birmingham, Preston and Sheff Wednesday, and luckily for me, I'll be at every single game. I've managed to get me away tickets for Brum and Preston, so I'm absolutely buzzing. Also, just want to say, rest in peace, Chris and Kev. Obviously, it's 19 years since that fatal night, and like I say, you know, make sure, I think it's on the 19th minute we turn our backs for them guys. You know, it's just a fucking torrid time. I hate Galatasaray, but there what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, I remember a couple of seasons back now when they did the pictures, and to be honest, I still have it somewhere, and I tried to find it. You guys that were at Ellen Road will remember they did the rest in peace Chris and Kev with the Leeds badge in the middle and the two of them at the side, and I had one because they were giving them out in the Peacock, and I couldn't find it. I was dying to find it, but I just couldn't find it. But you know, let's show our support for them boys. All Leeds our way. And finally, we've been nominated, guys. We've hit the shortlist. Obviously, we had the first round of voting. We got through that. We've now been invited to the Football Blogging Awards official venue. It's going to be at the Etihad in May. You know, we've all been invited, suit and tie jobby. And I'm just pleading with you to vote for us. Best new content creator. I'll make sure Tash or Claudio puts the link in the description. If not, head over to Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. It's all there. Please vote for @AllLeedsTV. It'd be amazing for a Leeds fan channel to win it. You know, we have such a great fan base to just come in, swoop in. Our first real season in us blowing up. Well, you say blowing up, but we're doing really well. It'd just be awesome for us to do that. So anyone who's watching this, please take the time out and do that. Hope you've liked the video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and let me know your comments, your thoughts. Your thoughts on the stats. Does it really mean anything? How about Birmingham's form? You know, they're on such a bad run of form. Is that a good thing for Leeds or a bad thing? Make sure you let me know. But yeah, just thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for your continued support. And hopefully I'll see you all at Brum on Saturday. I cannot wait. Leeds to win 2-0 and to get a stronghold on that second position, because I can see Sheffield United dropping points in these next two. And if we can win them both, then we march on, and the Prem is on the horizon, guys. So thank you again. I'm rambling as always now. Marching on together. See you soon. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.